Hey everybody, this is Jenny, and today I'm going to go over my pre-K class website with you guys. So we are looking at the pre-K news tab on my website, and this is just going to be a space that I'm going to use throughout the school year to keep my parents connected and involved with what's happening in and around our school and in our classroom. And this is also where I've uploaded my final project lessons and activities. And so, like I said, I teach pre-K, and so pre-Ks in Georgia follow the GELD standards. And so we're going to focus on Communications, Language, and Literacy Standard 6, which is the development of early phonological awareness skills. And so in pre-K, a lot of our standards we follow throughout the entire school year, and we just build off those skills and we incorporate those standards into different themes. So today you are going to see me incorporate CLL 6 into fall time in our classroom. So at the beginning of the school year, we really expect this to be an adult guided and driven standard, and by the end of the school year, our hopes is that they are independent with this standard, and as they move into kindergarten, they are as independent as they can be with their reading and phonological awareness skills. So for day one, I really wanted it to be a day where parents just get familiar with our website, the expectations. Pre-K, I have found, can be overwhelming for a lot of parents because they're new to school. It's their first time in school. A lot of things are new to them, and I learned through digital learning that a lot of parents needed a lot of support and instruction and guidance because it's really going to be the adult who is driving this online learning for my students, just because that's what's appropriate for 4- and 5-year-olds. So I have a little welcome video for the parents that I used with Adobe Spark, and that is my first interactive resource. So I'll play a little snippet for y'all.
Hello pre-K families, it's Miss Nicholson. I'm so excited to kick off our fall theme with a lot of things that we're doing in our classrooms, specifically our phonological awareness time.
So like I said, day one is just a get familiar with everything day, and if they have any questions, and we can navigate moving forward together. So day two, I have put together a presentation, and this is my presentation link right here. And so this is going to be a little mini lesson over the standard, and it's something very similar that we would do in school. And so my students are already really familiar with what we call phonological awareness time. And so this is just going to give a little recap of our standards and expectations. And after parents have watched it with their little one, they're expected to complete a little class Kahoot together down here. And this is my second interactive resource. So I'll give a little snippet of my presentation.
They rhyme or do they not rhyme? So now remember, when words have the same sounds, they rhyme. So let's listen to these two different words. We have pictures right here of a bear and chair. Now, do you think those words rhyme?
And so we are moving down on to day three. And for day three, I have chosen as my third interactive resource to use the Sway lesson plan template. This was a really neat activity that I was able to incorporate on this resource. And so parents will watch it with their child as well. There's another little instructional guided video.
Hey, pre-K peeps.
They're going to watch me.
All you have to do is just print it out. It's like 4 pages. It has everything you need to play this activity at home. And this is going to touch on a lot of phonological awareness skills. So our poem goes like this. And friends, you have heard this in our classrooms, so maybe you can even recite it for your family at home. So it goes, down, down, yellow and brown, fall the leaves all over the ground.
So like I said, parents and students can just watch this video and participate right here, or if they want to extend their learning a little further, they can click down here and it takes them directly to the game itself, and they can print it out at home, but it's not a requirement. It just helps, students get familiar with the activity as much as they want. And we are moving down to day four. Day four, I focused on syllables, and I have uploaded my instructional video, which I used screencast to record.
Hey, pre-K learning, we are going to find out how many syllables are in each of our fall words.
So this is just another little mini lesson that I've recorded for parents and students to watch together and to extend our learning a little further. We are going to go on a virtual field trip, and this is my 4th interactive resource. We are going to go to different places around the world, different museums around the world, and I have expectations right here for parents and students. So my idea is that they will, look at things outside of the museum or inside of the museum and find words that rhyme with it and how many syllables are in those things. So it's just really neat. You can explore different places, especially if we're not most likely going to be able to go on a lot of field trips this year. I think it's really neat. And so for day 5 is just kind of the wrap-up day. We are going to use Padlet as my curation tool. And I've incorporated 5 different fall-themed resources that are just going to help my students just to go further in their learning for phonological awareness and the standard. And I've asked parents, let me know how their students are doing with these, to take pictures, to send me updates, which is going to be a part of my assessment plan for pre-K. It's very different what we can and cannot do in pre-K. I've also asked my parents to take a pre-K parent survey using SurveyMonkey down here. And we have to follow what's called Work Sampling Online platform for pre-K. I'll show y'all. This is kind of the website. So we have all very strict rules what we do for assessment taking. We can either take documentation to make sure our students are following these standards by either taking a note documentation, observation notes. We can take pictures and video documentation, or we can follow a matrix documentation tool. And so we are very strict on what we can and cannot do for assessments in pre-K. And so what I've asked for my parents to help me with my assessment for this week is that they're going to rate their child every day on how they did. Did their child need a lot of assistance? Did they need a lot of help? Were they able to do it independently? Did they feel like this helped them move forward in their learning and things like that? So this will really give me a good idea. And we're also, like I said, this is a standard we're working on all throughout the school year. So we are building upon these skills. And so I will have documentation at school to even complete further on this learning. And so, if students need additional help, our remediation plan is that, I will provide additional help to these students one-on-one during our center time rotation or in small groups. And upon parent request, I can provide outside resources and assignments for them as well. And I just believe that all these activities, really meet the needs of a lot of our learners, because these tools really connect with different learning styles. There is a lot of activities for our visual spatial learners. There's lots of activities for our auditory learners, verbal learners, kinesthetic learners. And I just also believe that parents can accommodate a wide range of, where our learners are. We can really accommodate where they're at. We can make activities as simplistic or complicated for these students by providing more adult support, or we can, let them be as independent as possible with it as well. And so my expectations for this week and for this assignment is that, students are just going to grow in their independence with standards CLL6, that their phonological awareness skills and their ability to hear the sounds in spoken language, because listening is the foundation for this very important skill, and listening involves attending and distinguishing between sounds. This includes hearing a sound and determining the location it is coming from, recognizing sounds that are the same and different. I also expect my students to be able to recognize and produce rhyming words. And I also expect my students to be able to hear syllables in words and be able to segment words into syllables. And so I provide lots of different activities for them to do this throughout the school year and throughout this week. And that is all I have. So I hope y'all have enjoyed my class website. I'm excited to use this come fall, and I've really enjoyed using a lot of these resources.